They evicted my mom from the apartments. We had to go to the shelter, and we lived there for 45 days, and now we're living with my aunt.
When we first moved to the Julian Center, it was me, my mother, my brother and sister, and we had to stay all in a room. It was no bigger than this corner that we're in.
My friends in the shelter were very good people.
Hundreds of children under the age of 18 call family shelters home. In addition to the children living in emergency shelters, other children live with friends or extended family, live with an adult in hotels or motels, or live without shelter, unattached. Homeless Count reports show that Marion County schools are serving nearly 3,000 children who do not have a place to call home. These are real children whose futures are at risk. However, they are being helped by people who care, starting with their parents and including service providers, community organizations, faith groups, and volunteers. Listen as they share their stories.
We were very financially unstable, and so we didn't have things that we needed or even wanted, and the Julian Center and the Coburn Place have provided these things.
The liaisons can help with, first of all, letting the parents know that their children have a right to stay in their school of origin during their homelessness. And if we can have children stay in one school with one teacher in one classroom for an academic year, we know that they're going to achieve.
My mom's a social worker. She pays her to bring me back and forth to school because I live all the way out south. My auntie lives all the way out south, and she has to transport us back.
School on Wheels provides for these kids. If you do not have uniforms, they'll help provide them. They also stock all the tutoring rooms with any supplies the kids need, from educational games to books that they can take home and read, to glue sticks and markers. Anything that you would need for your homework, they supply.
I work closely with families who live with family members or friends for being evicted from their homes. I work with unattached youth, mainly at our high school, who sometimes find themselves homeless. These youth often go from friend's house to find shelter.
I think that's what's hard for some of the kids, is some of their realities in everyday life is something that, maybe I have never experienced. They're almost older, but on their years. These are kids whose parents really care about them, and sometimes it's just something in life that happens to these families.
Kamani's 8 years old. He's in the 2nd grade. He's doing better than what I expected. He's a tough little guy. That's one thing I can say.
I will say that since he's been here, he made a decision that he didn't want to go out for recess, that he was going to stay in and bring his grades up. And I thought that was quite a mature attitude for an 8-year-old. We're in Interfaith's hospitality home, and the places where we go and spend the night and sleep, a lot of those people are interested and concerned about us getting into a home.
What parents can do that are homeless themselves and that they still have their children with them is to give them a lot of verbal reassurance, give them a lot of physical affection. It's that reassurance and that emotional support, and letting them know it's going to be okay and we're not going to leave you.
Sí, es muy difícil encontrar vivienda para una familia, en nuestro caso de 11 miembros. Si no nos hubieran dado la oportunidad en este refugio, nosotros la única opción que teníamos era estar en el VEN. Ya no teníamos otra solución.
I go outside and sometimes I play tag or hide and go seek with my sisters. And when we come back, we wash our hands and then we start eating and we sleep and we could watch a little bit of TV.
Well, I became homeless at the age of 9 because my father put me in the car and drove me south of that little town in South Georgia and left me on the side of the highway with my suitcase, and then he drove off. My ability to be able to ask for the right kind of help that would get me to a place where I needed to be, I didn't have that kind of knowledge at age 9. I didn't know to ask those type of questions. Nobody had taught me that. All I knew was to go find food, find that Dempsey dumpster to sleep in, and one day a man showed up and asked me if I was homeless, and I said yes. They assigned me to live in the Tampa Children's Home. They provided with all my needs, emotional, psychological, encouragement, support. They were very proud of me for making good grades, and without them, I would still be surviving, not thriving.
I'm oftentimes amazed with the strength and the youth that I come into contact with who are dealing with homelessness. They seem to have a drive and a dedication and a strength to make it through high school.
I realized that that's not where I wanted to end up 10 years from now, homeless. So I started working even harder to achieve my goals, to go to Yale and study law and then become a criminal justice attorney. So I've been trying to do different things like joining Key Club and Starfish, where they take a student and partner them with someone who can help mentor them through their high school career. My mentor is actually an attorney. He's a very big influence on me.
There are people out there that are destitute, that they feel helpless. They don't know to ask for help.
When I was in the Julian Center, I saw a lot of families that were like upset and depressed because they're now homeless.
So we have to be proactive and be able to reach out to them.
People can help in so many different ways. It could be financial, it could be donating extra books, extra school supplies, or most importantly, you could give with your time.
If there's any way people could help people like me that have come from my background, then please.